on in. Picture appears eventually. There we go. Yes, clean the fishing boat. So back with the ASMR. And we can slowly lull everyone to sleep with, you know, sounds of white noise. Right. Oh yeah, I tried to scroll kilobits into the front, but, you know, not that easy. Right. What's our best bet? Normally I've started at the top and worked our way down. But I think maybe we do the outside first? That might be the easier thing. But yeah, oh, it is definitely ground in, isn't it? Okay, right, so we're going to need... Right, let's do those nozzles, and I think we're going to need extendy, aren't we? PowerWash Simulator is a way to feel the stress of washing we'll never get used to. True. Right. Porthole trim. Okay, so we've got a few elements here. I'm wondering whether these are actually the best one. Maybe we go with our green meanie. No, green meanie's good enough. It was with the extendy, the green meanie is good enough. There, yeah, it gets rid of the barnacles. We don't need the triple head thing. At least I don't think so. Oh, so that's a sound bite that you don't want to take out of context. We can do without the triple head. Right. Is it called the Pelican? I guess naming in real life boats is easier than trying to do it in D&D. Because I've had to come up with some names of vessels for the campaign. I'm thinking, like, I've got to make it sound vaguely fantasy. I can't call it the Genevieve or something like that, can I? Me as a child hearing seagulls steal the entire box of fish and chips. I mean... I could literally open the window and hear these kind of sounds. I mean, not right by the water, but the seagulls still, like, congregate pretty close by. So if I was to wander down into town, with the amount of fast food shops and, you know, people just dropping Cornish pasties or kebabs or fish and chips. Yeah, definitely accompanied by the sound of seagulls. How are we doing? Okay, there's a little bit on, like, the underside of this. That means above it as well there's going to be as well. Right, there's got to be a seam somewhere. Unless it's, like, entirety of one side. Let's see. I was to, like, squirt another bit. Hole. Okay, no. So it does look like it's split into three. That looks like a bit, that's a bit, and that's a bit. Ah, right, okay. Also, we've got some emote-only stuff. Right, that's toggled on. You've got it approved now, you just want to keep using it. Is that the only reason, Pilot? It's still pretty hard to read, though, because the black silhouette is pretty close to the dark grey of night mode, anyway. But the fact is, you don't actually have to put it into emote only to use it, because, you know, you can use emotes outside of emote only. I wonder if the white will get rid of... We could do with, like... I guess we do camera mode. No, white won't do... Get rid of the barnacles. Green does. Green has been, like, consistently, like, the go-to nozzle, right? Through pretty much the entirety of the game. I mean, if we were to go with the reds at this range, yeah, I guess so. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that'll do it. It's basically a kid scribbling in a colouring book, like doing the large sweeps is fine, but the size of the beam was not good enough. We might as well just do rapid chiseling of dirt off. Because, you know, it's having an impact. There you go. Also, that's been about 2 minutes. There you go. That should be back on. It's not close to that dark grey, though. It's pretty close. Like I said, it's not like stand out. I mean, if it was me, I would maybe do like a little bit of like a light halo around it, potentially, just to make it stand out on the background, if possible. What program did you use to actually make them? Are you using something like Photoshop, or you used like GIMP or Critter or something like that? GIMP and Paint, there you go. When they could... Well, yeah, well, I think libraries have been in decline for a while. But, you know, a library, they charge you X amount per book. Amazon charge you the retail price. There is a difference. A library card gets you access to everything at a negligible amount. Amazon, you have to pay retail for everything. The thing that has been killing libraries is, you know, stuff like the internet and Wikipedia. You don't need to go do the research when, like, somebody's already written it all on Wikipedia, right? Well, clearly you're after some very specific books then. Because, you know, depending on the size of the library, if it's a small town library, you know, what they have in stock is definitely going to vary wildly to some kind of metropolitan city with, you know, hundreds of thousands of books of all different sorts. But, you know, the wealth of knowledge in the world, there's probably millions of different books. That's why the internet's there, because It's bound to be online somewhere. It's a difference between a black and a dark grey. It doesn't pop. I'm guessing it pops pretty well on a white background, but on a black not so much. On the dark grey it doesn't. So I've got to presume, like most night modes, they're like, it's like 80%, 70, 80% grey. And you've got black, which is, you know, 100%. Light mode is cursed, yeah. Though I still use Google, you know, Docs. White blank piece of paper. I think it's like from doing writing. I'm used to the blank page being white. Well, they're very low contrast, because even like the ooh and oh and things like that, purple is very kind of because it's a dark purple. It's not high contrast to the black either. Like a light blue, a yellow. See, I wouldn't even put a red with that kind of black. Like a paler purple would potentially work. But yeah, my advice is maybe look at doing some kind of halo effect around it to make it pop a little more. Also, in that answer to your question, my monitor is calibrated for Adobe Color. It's calibrated to kind of design specifications. And you know what? I'm going to go back to probably Green Meanie, yeah. When you say most streamers, does that mean other people have said something the same? In which case, then it sounds like you've got your monitor tweaked in a different way. You've got to think, if you're doing something that multiple people are going to see, it's better to, like, get multiple examples. Anything I design, I tend to, like, look at on 3 different calibrated monitors, on mobile, and things like that. So, yeah, it might be a case of you might actually have to look at it more than just on your monitor. Well, this is why I said the halo effect would probably be the better thing. You wouldn't have to change the color of the emote. You just give it a glow around the edge, which would make it stand out. It might also be why it took so long for Twitch to verify it. Because maybe the AI bots that were looking at it were finding it hard to pass the information in the image. It would be an explanation why it took the, 2-3 weeks it did. Normally the validation thing, if it's been validated, it's quicker to get new emotes validated. Well, maybe compare those to the 3 that were very slow and see if there is like a greater color difference between them. I would imagine there's like slightly more purple in the 2 that like got validated quicker. Because like the ones that got stuck with the ooh, oh, oh, and things like that. So text is smaller than like the drawing of the face, I guess. Yeah. Well, I mean, the Rage one has white in it, which is easier to see on the in dark mode. For instance, I can get can't get why Raid 1 is different. Yeah, because the that. But I guess it might be because of the similarity between the Raid 1 and the, like, the default emote, I guess, probably best call it. Also, do we need super extendy with this? Because if we're stood slightly further back, but there's less barnacles, right? At this point. There you go. We get our wider spread. I mean, this is just my advice on, like, when I've done stuff in the past. You can take it or leave it. But, you know, the emotes are meant to be seen and used by other people, so it's maybe an idea to get other people to see it and give feedback. I think all the emotes I've done in for the channel, I've also posted in the Discord and got the feedback from the folks in Discord going which ones will work. And normally, like, the ones that have been trashed is because this one is harder to, you know, read, visualize. That sounds less like feedback and more like a bet. That sounded like you were on the losing end of a bet. The Barbie bit makes it sound like it was you were on the losing end. Anything else be fine. Specifically looking like Barbie, that definitely gives the implication that that wasn't the desired look. Well, it was the desired look for everybody else but bar you. Did you only have to do the makeup for like one evening or something like that? Or was it a case of they only had to do the skirt for a day, but you know they really liked the airflow thing going on, so they stuck with it for a week or so. So I do have plenty of platform. I'm not going to suddenly fall down as I'm doing this. Oh, we hit 20%. Hope that's you, Wishy. It's Harper. Lost my phone to the desert, so I've got a new one. I think I've remembered your deets, right? I did fall down. And this is what I was worried about. Never mind. Okay, right. Well, I guess I need to Sure, we'll get extendy out again. Ah, well, yeah, that probably would be an issue, yeah. Finding a good fit. Also, that trim. Okay, right. We might have to get... There's probably is ladders around, right? Probably do have our ladders somewhere. Maybe? Maybe? Do we have our ladders with us? No. Okay, no ladders. Also, did we find the gnomes? Ah, no, here we go. Wait, they're not our ladders. They're somebody else's ladders. Right, okay. Well, can I borrow them? The old Mashin? Oh, okay, right. Do they do a nice pie and mash there? What did... what did you order from the Mashin? Oh, the mansion. Okay, so it wasn't too much of a play on words. Well, I guess it was. Bigfoot strikes again. No. I definitely feel like there's supposed to be a box here. Either this spanner has a dangerous aura to it. Yeah, still need to figure out where the gnome is. Yeah, there's definitely a glitch in the Matrix, right? Right, so there are no ladders, unfortunately. So, is that a... just some kind of extension cord. Right, never mind. I guess the triple from this angle should chew through whatever's left. Hopefully. Oh, we did the trim. I have stairs, but I was hoping to prop up some ladders at the back here just to get to whatever hard-to-reach places there were on this bit. Right. Okay, I saw a little bit of a flash there. So we're very close. I would say we've got like possibly like 3% left. I wonder if it's all... it might all be in the gap where the things are in the sling, right? Never played 4th edition, so I can't make any comments on it. Hey, Mika, welcome. Right, well, I'm presuming, unless there's something around the front. Oh yeah, there's definitely some stuff around the front. Your art playtime you sent me? I can't remember. There we go. There's our ding. How was the test play? everything seemed to go all right. I think the only... Well, there weren't any major takeaways from it. It seemed to go all right. It was notable, Hoki managed to roll 5 nat 20s during the session. So whether the new thing about, like, roll a 20 and you get an inspiration die did factor into that, it would be difficult to tell without, like, more data to verify that. I think I only rolled 1 nat 20 for an attack, but obviously didn't get the extra damage from it. So I don't know whether that would have been a major factor in, like, the party's survivability. What were the other... Their level of power... Okay, so it was 3 players in the end playing a level 1 one-shot. And I think the one-shot was obviously balanced for 4 players. So they did hold their own. So the starting feats and things like that could have, like, been part of that. This is why I've said I fancy trying to run exactly the same one-shot again next week, potentially, to see if, you know, it was a fluke or, like, whether the playtest material is obviously stronger. Oh, you can get on the boat. Yeah, I'm trying to do the outside, though, first. It's interesting, but I still don't like some sort of other races changing. The new Aasimar animal weirdness. Well, as we noted, it definitely feels like the Ardlings are a little bit weaker compared to Aasimar. Aasimar still are stronger compared, because they can't remember which one it is, but gets, like, flight for a minute as opposed to 60 seconds. The spells are okay. Flavor-wise, I really like it, because it does, like, allow for, like, some of the kind of less, I guess, Judo-Christian kind of idea of celestial beings. If they're a little more, like, akin to Egyptian gods, or like, Chinese, Indian, and things like that, that would, like, bring in, like, the idea of animal heads. And it does allow the furries out there to have their cake and eat it too. They get to be, you know, whatever creature they want to. And it's not limited to, right, well, I can do a cat person, an elephant person, a hippo person, and a monkey person now. And that's about it. I thought there was 1 or 2 Chinese gods. There's definitely... I'm guessing probably more, like, dragon head type stuff. I guess it's like the dragon lions and things like that. Yeah, you can still do custom lineage, though I think the custom lineage was, like, their first experiment with that kind of idea. I wonder whether custom lineage will still be a thing come the final release of 1 D&D, or 6th edition, or whatever it's going to end up being properly called. Oh, so do we think super extendee is actually necessary for this? Let's have a look. Yeah, there's not too much baked in dirt. Thunder God is Eagle beats human. Oh, of course they would trademark it, but then again, I'm presuming they also trademarked What was the playtest for 5th edition? Somebody said, what was it, D&D Next? I mean, any company that has lawyers, they are going to trademark all associated names and anything vaguely similar as well, just to be on the safe side. So yeah, 1D&D is obviously being trademarked because it's in operation for at least a year and a half. But just by the fact that the Ardlings only have 1 resistance, whereas Aasimar have 2 resistances. No, the lewd D&D is definitely still going to have its space in on the internet somewhere. So many Tumblr posts. No, you can't do lewd on the Tumblr anymore, though, can you? So many archived Tumblr posts. Well, the one that immediately jumps to mind, though, is certainly Egyptian gods. So many jackal head and crocodile head and things like that, I can imagine. Also, you'd probably be able to do some, like, really creepy shit like as well. I can imagine there's some being, like, some very kind of, like, almost scary kind of, like, pig-headed, like... I'm trying to think, like, what would be a good... Some kind of pig-headed barbarian, Ardling, with high intimidation, and... some way of getting like a frightening presence of some sort. Probably through, what would it be? Because fear isn't a first level spell, so you couldn't do it with magical adept, could you? They said Thunder God is a paternal figure who punishes, while Lightning God is a maternal figure who supports. That's an interesting pairing. I mean, that writes itself as like some roleplay stuff, doesn't it? You play an Ardling, and like your lineage links back to both, and then you've just basically got some like serious like mummy and daddy issues. Now, where is the gun wall end? Is it on the inside? Yes, it is. Okay, right. Right, well, we've done most of one side. Now we just need to do the other side. Well, once again, let's start at the bottom. Oh, I guess the anchor is going to... Maybe we try and leave the anchor as the last thing we do. Maybe. Tiamat and Dragon Dude gods have name like a demon lord. It's Tiamat and Bahamut, isn't it? Family issues between chromatic and metallics, yes. Also, there is supposed to be a gem dragon god, but I don't know what their name's supposed to be. That's why lightning comes before thunder, according to Chinese mythos. Oh, right, I see. Right, so many barnacles. Our best bet is to go with extendy pole, right? Hey, whoever the gem dragon god is, maybe they're just like the cool aunt or uncle. They're the one that'll actually allow paladins to drink and fornicate. They're the ones that take them to the pub for the first time. There's a fire accident. Chinese said it's because the fire god took interest to visit them. Oh, okay. I mean, I can't see that being used on too many insurance forms for a house fire. But, I mean, the occasional arsonist might try and get away with that as a plausible excuse. Yeah, could you just imagine if there was like insurance claims in D&D? What the premium must be for an adventurer. I mean, the liability costs alone. Oh, the fire god is a prude, is she? It's the shaggy defense, wasn't me? Oh, you've killed off all the dragons, have you? Essentially. It would make like for an interesting like plot hook for an adventure. Because you could throw in, like, the trope of, like, the last dragon egg, or something like that, as a prized possession. Dungeons, no dragons, yeah. Yeah, you could get away with some, like, tasteful kind of Renaissance nudes. We're all out of dragons. All we have, sir, are kobolds. Will they do? Instead of one dragon, we can give you 36 kobolds. Actually, yeah, what would be the comparison? Like, so for an adult red dragon, what's their CR rating? How many kobolds would equate to one red dragon? Culture is a mix of animalism, Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism, mixed like a salad. I mean, what's the dressing then on this particular salad? I feel like you probably couldn't do some Greek yogurt or a balsamic. What would be an appropriate dressing for that particular god salad? Maybe some kind of hot wasabi, kind of mustard, ginger oil of some variety. little extra heat just to placate the fire god. I presume waged a war with the Celestials, so the Dragon Soul Sorcerer are more common and typically graft scales to their flesh. Ooh, it's actually part... Is it part of a ritual grafting of scales? I mean, soy definitely felt like the obvious one, but I felt like it, you know, if you're dealing with the gods, it's either going to be something kind of, you got to go with like something super strong. I don't think you need the umami textures, do you? I was about to say, like, you want something like super sweet and moorish, like an ambrosia, but that the Greeks definitely got that sewn up. So I feel like the Chinese gods maybe have a little bit of heat added in there, like celestial salad. Also, celestial salad definitely sounds like a good, like, one shot you find on the DM's Guild and or punk band from the like early 90s. Some sesame oil, that would do it, yeah. Well, the only three words I can make out of that sentence, Highlot, were God as well. Right, well, we're over halfway on the starboard hull. But technically, that still classes hull as well. But the bottom half of the hull. Below the waterline. Also, doing the outside first might be, like, the biggest bit. It definitely feels like the largest surface area, which you probably want when you're making a boat, right? Large surface area to kind of like cut through the water. I don't know. I'm not a nautical engineer. Though I guess based on like high efficiency, high speed sailing craft, like the smaller the surface area, the better, because you've got like those catamarans that basically like, was it trying to get up on the foil, or however it's termed as? It's when they're like basically just skimming above the surface of the water. Some Chinese said that a stove has a god, and we pay some multi-gluey candies to the stove god. Are they gluey because you like place them on the stove top and they definitely melt some? That's what makes them gluey. I mean, on the subject of like Chinese gods and that kind of mythology and things like that. Still one game that is firmly on my list of like ones I absolutely have to try and play when it comes out is Wukong. But at Gamescom they announced another game coming out next year, I think it was, called Where Winds Meet. That definitely has like that kind of wushu, almost like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type thing, based on like the character movements, things like that. So I'm gonna make a prediction of like in the next couple of years we're going to see a lot of like games based on Chinese mythology and things like that. There may be a renaissance of like the Dynasty Warriors games. They all get like a special edition re-release on the next gen consoles and PC. Dragons wage war with Celestials, and Dragon Sorcerers common. So same thing you said without like the typos. Their flesh often resulting in failure though. Tiamat is now a patron. I thought I may have vaguely recalled seeing something about Tiamat potentially being a patron for some. Well, I guess not so much. I guess it's because Tiamat is a. Yeah, I guess it goes back to what is it? Joe Manganiello's Paladin. Oathbreaker Paladin character featured in Crit Roll, basically featured in the Avernus book and things like that. Technically a Paladin, so I guess not so much patron as opposed to, you know, god. But yeah, Tiamat acting like a patron kind of makes sense. Well, that I only know that from Crit Roll, but I think he's also mentioned it on other things, like when he's done like interviews and like whoever the interviewer is and nerding out about D&D, he's mentioned about his paladin character that he's played for like the last 20 odd years. And as I said, I'm pretty sure they featured in Descent into Avernus. They're canonically part of D&D lore now because they're in one of the printed books. So I'm pretty sure in Questing Time there was stuff mentioned about I can't remember his character's name, but it mentioned about this Dragonborn Oathbreaker Paladin, a loyal servant of Tiamat. Hey Rocket, how are we? You join us as we're just like zoning out, just doing a bit of cleanup. We just got a big old boat to drench. So you think all that water beyond the sea gate there, couldn't we just throw it out there with some soap suds and it'll be done? But no, I guess I have to like file all the barnacles off with high pressured water. Oh yeah, I do like mythology. Also, admittedly, like the last couple of days, I have started going over the Monster of the Week book and starting to think of like, okay, what monsters would work well in a modern setting if you were to do something akin to, you know, an X-Files or Supernatural, that sort of thing. It does feel like it'd be the sort of thing you'd have to start crawling through, like, some more of the obscure kind of, like, myths and legends. So I like the idea of maybe, like, some kind of, like, almost like Fey monsters of, like pagan festivals that maybe in a Monster of the Week they bring forth some kind of small, like, Fey, like, impish kind of creation that is like all about mischief and but also possibly taking human sacrifices, because you know the Fae definitely mess around with like stealing children or, you know, fucking with people. Banshee could be a good one. I mean, you could definitely do a lot of like ghost undead type stuff. Like I said, you know, it feels like if I did do Monster of the Week, I would have to mainline like Supernatural and Buffy, and to a certain extent stuff like X-Files. I think also another touchstone is stuff like, was it Dresden Files? But that had like one shitty TV show and a shit ton of books that would take forever to get through. Yeah, the Dresden Files series of books, there's what, like 30, 40 books in the series? Weeping Angels would be a good one. Yeah, I guess some of the Doctor Who stuff would definitely fit with Monster of the Week. Because, you know, as a series, Doctor Who is very much Monster of the Week. Go for the ones that are a bit more kind of weird, a little more fantasy than the high sci-fi element ones. Fucking with people or just fucking people. Yep. Right. I want to try and leave some of the chain as well. Like we said, we'll leave the anchor until very last if we can. But we do want to try and get the entirety of the hull. So if I can clean behind it. Also, my coffee's definitely gone cold by now, hasn't it? Most assuredly. So yeah, as I was saying with the 1D&D stuff, I am thinking of doing another one-shot. Same one, in fact, next Wednesday. If anybody wants in, let me know in the Discord. It'll be the same again, like a pre-written level 1 one-shot. Few tweaks to it, but using the what's the name? The new rules to see how viable they are. Elden Ring's really good, great for making campaign for settings. You're currently on your third playthrough. While I'm still to do my first, as I said, it's high on the list when new graphics cards, as and when I get hold of that. But, you know, all that stuff costs money, right? That thing that we all have very little of at the moment. I especially don't. Well, even a 1660 is better than my 1070. But, you know, the usual caveat is I only get to really play games when I'm streaming them. And the process of streaming definitely steals some horsepower from the graphics card, right? So anything that's you can just about get running on some of the older tech, in all likelihood, if I would want to play it and want to stream it, it would have to have its settings turned way the fuck down, which I don't know how well I would enjoy it and whether everybody else watching would enjoy it if it looks too much like a potato. Well, I mean, I would buy new tech if I had money. You have money, I don't. Also, we have the bullshit of, like, folks like Sony ramping up the price of, what's it, the PlayStation. Everywhere but in the States, for some reason. No, I have bills. No partners, no children, but I have bills. And that's what takes money away from me. Right, let's see if we can get just behind this. I guess the sling doesn't actually matter if it gets wet. That would imply I had spare money. You saw it took me, what was it? What is it, about 7 months to save up the, like, 500 quid it was to buy this camera. Say, loans and more loans. Yeah, exactly. Confectionaries? What are those? I'm not big on sweets. I don't do much in the way of candy. Yeah. Haven't had a holiday in probably about 15 years. Don't have dependents and things like that. But, you know, bills be bills and they need paying. I do very few in the way of luxuries, Mickey. Don't trust me, I'm not splurging on pointless crap. My meals are mostly basic. It's just, you know, shit is expensive. And, well, I don't get a lot from doing the Twitch stuff. Yeah, I think currently this month there's maybe, what, 13, 14 subs, and like one person donated about 12 quid? So, you know, be here trying to entertain you lot nets me maybe 30, 40 pounds a month. And that's the sort of money that goes into, like, buying games and buying gear for the stream and things like that. So, yeah. Hence, you know, it takes a long fucking time to get upgrades or, you know, whatever. You thought the seagulls were actually outside? I mean, I'm occasionally after this, I've come off stream and, you know, I still hear the white noise, but that's probably just the tinnitus, right? Occasionally open the window, though, I still hear the seagulls. As I said, I live 20 minutes away from the sea. I know all about, like, the sound of seagulls. Don't worry about it. Right, let's see. Have a look how we're doing the hull. Well, I guess that's not actually part of the hull. That's... was it classed as trim, wasn't it? Yeah. But little patches like that. And I guess the underside there as well. Alright, all of those little patches. Then we have to do the back, which is going to require some stretching. Neither. I'm originally from the Midlands, pretty much as far as you can get from the sea in the UK. But no, presently I'm down in Cornwall, in the southwest. So, far, really to the side of the country from Brighton and that. Right, I'm going to need the other extendy, aren't I? Super extendy. I never said sunnier side. I said other side of the country. That would imply we actually get sun here. Like I said, here in the UK, we don't react well to the sun, which is why we had so many problems when it got to 30, 40 degrees. Yeah, it's the one thing it has got, Cornwall. Lots of coast. Right. There we go. Up there, I see you. Okay, we got most of the back. It doesn't seem like there's many glowy patches. Yeah, the hull is basically there. Oh, it does look like maybe round the... Yes, there we go. Right, you know what? Swizzle. Swizzle. Come on. Where's those last few little bits that we need to chisel off in order to get the ding? We're desperate for the ding. Little bits around the edge there or something. So I'm trying not to get the... We said we were going to try and save the anchor till last, didn't we? Right, well, there's a lot of the trim we need to get done. Ooh. Come on. Also, itchy eye. Not only is the ears constantly buzzing to the sound of is, the eyes are starting to itch as well. Well, that's actually part of the gun wall. I'm trying to figure out where the glowy bits are for the hull. Come on. I mean, it's not a very big island. Technically, it is a bit sunnier than, like, the northern tips were in Scotland and stuff like that. But, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's still, you know, we still spend most of the time damp and grey. There we go. We got our ding. Right. And... no, actually, we'll go with that, but we'll go with our green meanie again. Try and chisel it off this. Actually, I wonder if that would be better. Yeah, for these bits, this one might actually be the better pick. Right. There's a bit just there. Okay, right. Whee! So there's a bit behind the gun wall as well. Well, not behind the gun wall, but behind the sling on the gun wall. There you go. So yeah, the tabletop nerds go, like, yeah, picking a tangent and going back there. Tabletop nerds here. Has anybody actually played Monster of the Week or a similar kind of thing? Like a couple of other ones that I do like the look of, that do that similar kind of, you know, humans against monsters kind of idea. Is Kids on Bikes, and I guess also the new was it Hunters the Reckoning, part of the World of Darkness stuff. But rather being a werewolf or a vampire or whatever, this time no, you're lowly humans trying to kill said creatures. Right, so that's all the hull really, isn't it? Sure, we'll do the propeller and rudder. And let's go with standard size. Because at least this is close to us, so, you know, pure pressure will do most of the work. I guess if we kneel down, we can just, like, go along the keel. Slowly chisel those barnacles off. We'll keel haul ya. Still not done, really? I'll figure out where the glowy bits on the keel might be. Also, we do have all of that. We did see. We got glowy bits. Go after the glowy bits. Yeah, I'm going to have to use the cheat button quite a bit, it feels like. At least for this section. Once we get on board the ship, it might be a little easier. There we go. There's some glowy bits on the keel, which is still not done. Damn it. There we go. Okay. Right. Rudder, keel, propeller. So once again, we don't have a ladder. We don't even have a little box. Those like two-step kind of ladders either we can stand on just to like make sure we've got all the tricky corners down here. So we gotta hope this is going to be fairly generous when it goes ding. I can't really get above it. So I can't see the tops of the blades, really. So we haven't actually finished the rudder off yet. It's still... Okay, we mostly did this side. Yeah, there's a fair amount of the rudder left. I'm guessing it's the top side there. Which, unless I can... Maybe we can see it from the ledge? Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's go Twizzly. There you go. I just had to twizzle. There we go. High vibrate, high twizzle mode for the win. Right, so yeah, that's pretty much all the outside of the hull then now, isn't it? Then, permission to come aboard, Captain. Let's do these slightly trickier bits, like, I guess, the top of the mast and stuff. Unless we've got the ladders on the ship already. We're just going to have to hope pointing at this thing with some high pressure nozzles is going to get us where we need to be. Or we could just like tightrope walk. That will do it as well. Though it won't help for the other side. Right. Very, very carefully teetering on the top of the mast. Technically on the highest point of the ship. Right, we are colliding with the rope, but we're just thankful it provided us enough of a sturdy surface that we could actually walk up it. Right. I have no idea if this is actually a viable thing at this distance. Right, let's do... No nozzle. Let's do, I don't know, I guess our widest. Yeah, I think I might be a little too close to our target, right? As we're kind of like balancing on it with tiptoes. This is probably not how you're supposed to power wash things, right? So, can't stand up because, you know, there's a thing in the way. There we go. Can I crouch and do it? Crouching might be it, as opposed to trying to do it from the full prone position. Also, I notice everyone's kind of... Has the white noise got to people now? Is that it? We've done everything we could on, like, seagulls, dragons, various Chinese gods, and Hilot's low contrast emotes. Everyone's now settled into a warm slumber with the sounds of white noise. Right. I guess the underside in that we are going to have to... You're in full lurk mode is engaged. I don't blame you. Also, you know, it is stupid o'clock in the morning for you, right? Right. I get to just there. Yeah, there we go. Don't fall off the red bar. I mean, this all is classed as the same mast, I guess. Pulley arm is a separate entity. Okay. So I do still see small dark patches on the mast. Yeah. Now that we're back on the ship, you know, pressing the cheat button is like lighting up a black light in a teenager's bedroom. It ain't a pretty sight. Right. Let's go a bit more oomph. And with a bit more extension as well. I think the mast is all one thing. So the boom arm coming out of it and the I always thought it was just like the main beam is called the mast. I guess the boom arm bit is as well part of it. Continue teetering on the yeah, really don't think I'm just supposed to be balancing on the pulley here, because it really doesn't want me to actually hit any of this pulley arm. There we go. But we did enough. We got enough for it to ding. Right. Well, even the mount in the bottom of it is part of the mass, so okay. If we can chisel all this dirt off, we will be laughing. Come on, come on, come on. Right, I'm guessing this is also... Yeah, it seems to be part of it. Okay, right. In which case... Got to be almost there, right? Like, where are the glowy bits on the mass now? Well, there's some significant glowy bits. There we go. We got our ding. Right. Might as well do the pulley as well. No, that was just the chain. Okay. We'll try not to break the chain like Fleetwood Mac. Come on. Close all this down. I mean, admittedly, I can't actually see too... Ah, there you go. There's some glowy bits. There we go. Right. We did the tall bits. Let's continue doing tall bits by getting up on top of the fossil. Sure, we can do you easy enough. Yeah, it should be easier now, because everything's less... Well, it's going to be fiddly, but it's not going to be like a lot of craning one's neck upwards or downwards to do it all. He says as he's constantly staring down. But you know what I mean, it's not like... It's really far away from us. It's basically, we're pointing at our feet and we're cleaning stuff. Well, these railings are all part of a thing, but I guess the funnel is our best bet. Right. Now, is this all one element? Potentially, based on what we've done so far? Hell yes, yeah, absolutely is just a single element. Well, thank God for the auto squirt button. Also, who chose the color scheme? Ooh. Come on, up we go again. Oh god. Yeah, absolutely no steps to do this, so we have to do all parkour. At least I don't think there's any steps. We haven't seen any anywhere. Well, we saw one set of step ladders, but they weren't interactable, so I have to presume they're screen furniture. A little bit of set dressing, a bit of mise en scène. This thing's almost there, but there's going to be bits hiding underneath these little outcroppings and such. Well then, let's crawl on our bellies. Yeah, do feel like I'm breaking it a little bit with how close we are. It seems to be like trying to figure out where the spray is supposed to go. Makes sense. Most of this is almost there, but there's maybe like 2 or 3 more percent somewhere. Like up there. So technically that's all part of the same object. I was just to remove all nozzles, absolutely. No, I still can't target. There's a minimum safe distance when operating heavy machinery like this, clearly. Okay, combination of the bird song, even like the screeching of seagulls and the white noise, my eyelids are starting to get a bit heavy as well. Have to admit. Right. No, I fully cleared it. Ho-hum. Try again. When at first you don't succeed, parkour! Right. Oh yeah, this thing's practically there. Just tiny little... oh, maybe not so much tiny slivers of dirt. That was a fairly large bit of dirt. The majority of the base of this thing is done. Also, I keep hearing the mewing of a cat. Do we know where the kitty cat is? Is it trapped inside? There we go. Right. Oh, not quite. I'm wondering if... Can I get onto the ladders and get right up on top? Damn you! This is probably why they didn't give us any ladders, so we can't get right to the top. Yeah. There's no way of parkouring up to it there. Okay. Right. Still part of the top of the cabin here. I guess we did the funnel. Let's do the rest of the roof here. Okay. Can we get the extension for the jet washer where we can actually, like, I don't know, load up BB guns in the end of it and fire it at the seagulls? They are starting to get a little bit on my nerves now. Might be something to do with us listening to them for the last almost 2 hours, I guess. At least an hour and a half. Congratulations. Have a ding. You cleaned a bolt. Is it actually classed as fair lead? Ah, right. So this is where they can tie off the boat. They're called cleats. What's a fair lead? I guess it's possibly something to do with the rigging for the mast. Maybe. It does look like you could put some ropes through it or something, or a pulley attaches to it. I mean, there's no holes, but I'm going to put that down to, you know, the devs minimizing on asset models. Inside the tricky little gaps. So we can have another one on this side. Right, the roof wall is classed as one thing, but that's going to be the outside as well. The rails aren't done. So again, the outside probably. Right, well, I guess we're going to have to possibly from here close it down. Trying to see where the obvious bits are. Yeah, the rail is being defiant on like what bits need to be cleaned. Guess it's going to be on its underbelly. Oop. There we go. We got a ding. That's all we were after. A nice healthy ding. Every time it does ding, it reminds me we did say about making it a sound effect. But as with most things, the moment I come off stream, I forget everything I've talked about during the stream. This is why it's best you guys, like, call me out on it and, you know, mention these sort of things on the Discord and stuff like that. Because I am going to forget else. There is normal brain, there's also streamer brain. Streamer brain is only active and normally focused on like 3 things at once. It is definitely any superfluous information after the stream is over gets dumped somewhere, never to be retrieved again, unless you're in the exact same situation, which I guess we are, listening to the occasional ding. Also, this is why it was tough to shift. It does look like a little bit of rust has got in here. Like I said, without ladders, this ain't easy. We could just prop ladder up against the portal wall and probably do these. We're either way too close or way too far away. Yes, we have super extendy poles and high pressure nozzles and things like that. But what about the wide spray? See, yeah, and when it does things like this, we can somehow shoot through the bar, but not into the bar when we're this close. What if I was to try and jump onto that yellow thing? Oh, almost, almost. Damn it, no. Okay, but that's all we needed, apparently. Okay. Right. Apart from the actual floor, ergo the ceiling of this. Okay, might take a little more for the deck. Oh no, it's going down quick enough now. There we go. We swabbed the decks, Captain. Right, I guess the red bit all around. Oh, actually, no. We never completed the gun wall, or so. I've got to presume I'm almost there with this, like, this bit. Though this does all appear to be part of the same gun wall. And I'm saying gun wall because I'm sure that's how I've heard it described in, you know, I don't know, Hornblower series or something like that. If it's gun whale, I will switch that, but I'm pretty sure it's gun wall. I think it's like one of those vestigial kind of hang-ups from like ye olde English, you know, where shop used to have an E at the end of it. I think it's gun wall, what we would spell now probably G-U-N-W-A-L. Not even wall as in like brick wall, but, you know, gun wall. But, you know, the E would imply it might be gun whale, as in gale. Or tail. Also, we hit 60%. see, in the deep ocean, the speed of gravity wave is directly proportional to the square root of the wavelength. Actually sounds vaguely familiar. However, non-linear effects can cause the energy of a smaller wave to bounce, consolidate into one huge wave. Are we going to get onto the wings of a butterfly flapping on one side of the world, causing a hurricane? Okay, right. And like I said, the eyelids are getting heavy listening to 2 hours of white noise. I try and intermingle it with my own voice, but, you know, still, it's overpowering. No one man can handle all this power. Also, I haven't been watching any coverage, just in case at some point I do still get it. But has there been the Kanye West moment in the new Saints Row game? I will say, as a set piece, taking the like high-rise building in Saints Row 3, jumping from the helicopter to the sound of Kanye singing, was an epic set piece. I mean, then it just turns into a clusterfuck of just like shooting as many people as possible. I'm just wondering whether the new Saints Row manages to nail anything vaguely similar to that. But I'm guessing, based on like the myriad of lousy reviews it had, most of them saying it somehow managed to forget what is fun about Saints Row games. I'm guessing that sort of thing's been removed for just more generic kind of territory clearing, and, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like radio towers to climb up. The way it's described, it's almost cookie cutter in like the open sandbox world approach it's taken. Right. Deck wall trim. Guessing like the underside of it's going to be filthy. Yeah. That's just a shadow. Okay. Let's go round from this angle then. For the most part, we've probably got the top, so we should focus on the bottom, because this thing's a little bit on the large side, so we're going to have to probably do a couple of laps anyway. Just in case we miss teeny tiny bits here and there. Hey, Enforcer, how's it going? My eyelids are getting heavy after listening to white noise for 2 hours. How about you? How's your week been? It is Friday after all. TGIF, everyone. So they have split up the deck wall trim. Now we've done that bit. The gun wall as well. Well, we're starting to get more and more consistent dings. Like I said, doing the outside was long and laborious. Now it's just, hopefully, smaller sections. And that is until we, like, do the decking, I guess. But I'm guessing that's probably broken up into, like, upper deck and lower deck. Like, this is the upper deck and that's the lower deck. What we got? No, this is classes bow and main deck. Okay. You're all right. Building some content for your Thursday D&D group. Have a rogue that's just there his players is quite young, so I'm not holding anything against him, but I'm making at least an attempt to make a thieves guild. Make sure he has some like mentor figures and or a backup, or you know, support in some sense. So do you mess around with like guilds and groups and things like that much in your games? Oh no! So, is it immediately kind of like on all the job hunting sites and putting CVs out there and things like that? Right. Let's... Oh, there you go. There's a ding. Give me them dings. The catchphrases of "give me those dings," it feels like either wildly inappropriate or should be in I don't know, a Rick and Morty thing. It's some weird character that says, "Give me them dings." Yeah, I guess also as a part of like was it Gamescom going on at the moment, they have shown some more footage of the new one from Squanch Games. I think it's Squanch, isn't it? The first-person shooter type one, which is basically Rick and Morty game, but without Rick and Morty, as far as I know. What is it? High on Life? I think I watched about like 10 minutes of game footage. So the video, you know, there's certain segments they like force fast forward through, like sections of a boss fight and things like that. Had an interview today, so that's good though. The start date is, if you get it, wouldn't be until October. Oof. And you know, with the world economy as it is at the moment, a month without a paycheck, well, potentially a couple of months without a paycheck is scary sounding. You have no idea what you're doing for the guild, though. Welcome, Astriel. Hello. How are you doing? I guess for guilds, it depends on, like, really what you want to get out of it. It's, you said this is for a character that's, you know, a younger character or younger player. I'm getting the sense that, are they like a first-time D&D player, so you want there to be maybe some kind of support structure there for them? Just feel like you either use it as a device to maybe supplement their roguish skills with like similar roguish skills. So like if they've gone fully into like the sneak, maybe there's a master cat burglar in this guild that like can like teach them how to improve their lock picking, and like if they do enough time at the guild, they'll get advantage on thieves tools checks for, you know, part of the adventure until they get used to being able that being a skill check. Want to hear something cool? You had a great morning event, went by McDonald's to grab breakfast for you and the missus. The registers were down, and they just gave you the order and said, have a nice day. Free food is always good. Normally, all you manage to get is like the little free samples when they're like in the supermarket when they're trying to like demonstrate a new product, or maybe at like some kind of open air event It's the tiny little plate, and you get to have like one sample thing. But yeah, the entire... Was it a full breakfast menu? Did you get? Or was it... What, I mean, at the very least, if it was like free coffee or something like that. That sounds like a great way to start the day. A free Egg McMuffin. Then again, I say that. I've not actually had McDonald's in forever. I honestly can't remember last time I actually ate Mackie D's. But, you know, going back to the thing earlier, like, no money, so definitely don't do takeout. Sausage McGriddle, and wife had the big breakfast with hotcakes and OJ. Well, the fact that it was all free definitely makes it even more palatable, right? I mean, that's a good way to kickstart a long weekend. Yeah, for how many people is it a long weekend? Here in the UK, we've got our bank holiday, August bank holiday Monday, and that. So yeah, technically it's a long weekend. I mean, I think the weather's supposed to improve some, so I'm guessing a fair few people are going to make the most of the end of summer. Because, you know, it's September next week, folks. Kids go back to school, winter is coming, all that jazz. Hard to believe, like, the majority of the year is done. We're already moving into autumn, winter. I mean, I'll be happy without, like, the oppressively hot weather and being able to sleep at night. But, yeah. If time could slow down a little, I'm just saying. Yeah, it should fast forward through all the shitty bits, but if it can at least hang around for like the mildly okay good bits, I think we would all appreciate it, you know, slowing down a little. Though if you're busy waiting for a job to start in October, then you might want it to hurry along. Right, Enforcer? Right, my guess is the deck wall ends at that point. No, okay. So all the front part... Well, I guess we're at the rear here, aren't we? Yes, we're at the rear. I got lost which bit of the boat I was in. Am I at stern or aft? And again, I'm going to need to try and remember some nautical terms for D&D purposes reasonably soon. There we go. There's our ding. Right. Like I said, this is definitely easier than the outside of the hull, because, you know, that required us, like, pointing up with a very long extension. This, we're, like, right up against it, so we can do a reasonably large surface without losing pressure. So occasionally, we get too close. So, Astriel, obviously it started with a good breakfast. Have you had the other two things happen yet? Because, you know, it's like bad luck and good luck. They're supposed to come along in threes, right? So after that, did you like discover like a meeting had got cancelled and you had like a free hour, or I don't know, found a penny on the floor as you were walking back from McDonald's, or something like that? Something that would indicate maybe it's worth playing the lottery. You know, if fate's smiling on you, you've got to grab it whilst you can. There we go. There's our ding. More dings. So I'm wondering whether we should have focused on this, because this is easy, but at least it feels like we're making progress. We're over 2/3 of the way there, and I guess we've got like 45 minutes left. I doubt we'll get done today, but we can see. We'll see how far we can get. Like I said, all of this is reasonably easier than doing the outside. Just wash faster! Just put it on 3 times speed, right? But how you doing, Thyke? Yeah. Where's our ding? Give me that ding! Okay, I was about to say it is easier, but apparently we've missed a little bit somewhere, which is preventing us finishing off this section. Okay, you're denying me my ding. Come on, where's me ding? Okay, come on, come on. I mean, this is part of a different thing than that. Yes, those are 2 different things. Right. I genuinely can't see a glowy bit anywhere. It's going to be microscopic, isn't it? Seriously. Seriously, how can this wall not be done? There we go. It was a tiny, tiny bit on the skirting board. Yeah, I have the 3 nozzle one. But I like the wider spray. And pressure-wise, it does, you know, it has enough grunt about it to do it. Trying to work backwards to find out when it appears in the shop, but didn't notice it until after you'd finished the lava level. Well, I never even realized there was a lava level, though it, you know, it makes sense because they keep banging on about this volcano that's about to blow. Yeah, we got it 2 levels ago, I think it was. I think it was just before the big hand in the desert. Right. Okay, bridge, roof wall. Okay, so let's do all of that. Also, the light. Okay, I'm going to have to do super extendy, aren't I? Well, let's do medium extendy. Probably going to be good enough. Worst comes to the worst, we use Swizzler or the triple-headed one. Trying to jump, thank you. Well, I just immediately jumped down. No, I am still actually on it. It's just the gun wall moves down. Right. Oop. As you remember it, your strong independent power washer doing all career level solo, right? Yes! I guess part of that would be the underside as well. For God's sake, come on! Almost there. Are we nearly there yet? Right. Yeah, there's tiny little bits. Okay, right. Well, you know what? I think we are going to have to either get the... What do we want? Swizzler or triple? Let's try the triple. I mean, it looks pretty good on this side, doesn't it? Oh, but little bits like that would be it. Come on. Give me that ding. Get up on the... Oh, for God's sake. Come on. There we go. We gotta be almost there, right? Come on. Seriously. Show me those glowy bits. Oh, is it right in the corner there? Yes, it is. You know what? I'm going to go back to... There we go. When in doubt, swizzle. Oh, still on the inside. That's where we're missing out. There we go. Right. Right, we did all that top bit. Now we come down a section, right? The closer it is to eye level, the easier it is. Where we said the bit on the outside was probably the most awkward, because we're doing a lot of pointing up and doing this. We're still doing that. It ain't exactly the driveway, is it? I mean, we've figured they are an independent power washer. Have they already got, like, some kind of quid pro quo deal with a local chiropractor? Because this is going to be detrimental to, like, their shoulders and neck. A lot of, like, staring up doing this. They are definitely going to need a good shiatsu massage after this, right? Yeah, sopping wet, aching like crazy, and all they've got to show for it is, I think this job was like $1,000, which, I mean, I don't think anybody here would sniff at being given $1,000, but you know. Still. This is still a lot easier than the actual power washing. So we can take our virtual fun bucks and that sense of satisfaction of getting a job well done and nicely cleaned and live with it. Right, bridge trim, bridge cabin. Okay, yeah. That's all trim. Come on. Oh, that's true. None of these windows have gone ding yet. So we're as yet not got anything on this level to go ding. Even though we've done several windows thus far. I've got to believe there's some ladders somewhere. But I can't for the life of me see where they've hidden me ladders. There we go. Ding, ding. If they were about, we did start over here, didn't we? We did see a set of ladders back here, but, you know, can't click on those. We're not allowed to use those ladders, even though they look all right for us to use. Also, I'm noticing the cats. Is it me or those cats very large? Compared to the size of my van, those are some very big cats. I like how they're all admiring my work. They are some chunky cats, yeah. Yeah, definitely no ladders around. How has that window not gone ding yet? Definitely feels ding worthy. There we go. Okay, this bridge is almost done. Ugh. I tried to. Bridge wall, bridge wall. Is this classed as bridge wall as well? Bridge trim, bridge. No, so bridge wall is not the same. So we've got to figure out where it ends. The rest begins. How this boat has a top deck, a bridge deck, a main deck. That bit of the front, that looks like a deck. But it's called the bow. Now, I know a bit of the ship is normally called the forecastle, which tends to be this, right? Cabin makes sense. That's where living quarters and, you know, the domestic stuff is. There's normally a bed and a galley and things like that. Foresail is where it's driven from, which makes sense for it being the bridge as well. I don't know what's above called. Like I said, I'm going to have to learn some nautical terms for, you know, the fact that, you know, my players in my D&D game are very much in a naval town about to take a boat ride. You're just whining about the achievements which ask you to do decks, but actually specifically means only the main deck and the bow. Right. Well, I mean, the bridge is almost there. I'm trying to find where those teeny tiny bits of dirt might be. Because they are clearly microscopic in size, potentially. If only you'd given me ladders! That's different. That's trim right there. Actually, that's trim. This is just the bridge. Okay, so this bit sticking out is not what we need to worry about. So it's some part of this main structure. I mean, I'm not seeing anything glowing. That would indicate we've pretty much got it all. And the fact that it's like, it's definitely at 99%. I don't know where this last 1% might be. All I can think is it's like hiding in the shadows. What we do in shadows... It's always that 1%, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, is it just around the edge there? That might be it. Right there. Okay, I'm going to go to swizzle power. It wasn't that tiny crack next to the window, apparently. I think we got the swizzle in there. It could be the top of the windows, but yeah, it's trying to get an angle on those. I guess we might be able to look down from up here. Possibly. Zoom in and enhance. There we go. Okay, so it must have been just like there. But that was a pig to do, wasn't it? Right, but now we can do the cabin. And like I said, it's a lot easier when it's at eye level. In fact, I can probably go to medium. Or were we on medium before? Nope, medium's good. And we got half an hour left and about 26% to get through. Possible? Maybe. I mean, there's certainly less barnacles to shift off the hull whilst we're on deck, right? But it doesn't stop there being some deep ground in dirt. What I wouldn't give for an industrial vat of Sillet Bang. Also, that thing popping up, yeah, it reminds me, I'm going to have to, like, send a message out to everybody that has subbed or donated thus far this month, so I can start getting everyone's shout-outs. Ka-ching, ka-ching. Each little ding is a payday for us. Like so. Wait, this window hasn't gone ding yet, has it? Make the sound! Do the thing! There you go. Wait, was one of the brackets a thing on its own? I guess so. So the boy, let's... just so I can aim a little better. The boy's good. Hook. Hook. I'm definitely pointing at the hook, but I guess it wants to believe it's the cabin. Okay, hook. Right. Is this all part of the same element, the cabin? It appears to be. Now this is classed as cabin wall, as opposed to the front sides of it tend to be cabin. Yes, okay, so this is a separate thing, but you know, we can get the cabin wall whilst we're here. There you go. You're on the phone, and it's ringing again. Oh no, it's one of those Fridays. They can't leave you be. It must be nice to be in demand, though. Right. Ka-ching. Also, I'm not quite sure how the cat, like, walked up the wall. But I guess the cats are magic. They were following some signal in the desert, pointing in a specific direction, so sure, magic cats. Magic chunky cats, as we've discussed, because they sat on my van, they look weirdly large. Like, abnormally. Well, we did the cabin door. Get more life, boys. Ka-ching. Ka-ching. Oh, we're at 80%. I just want you to know where the amazing smell was coming from. I won't forget for as long as I live. Excuse me? I mean, that wonderful smell might be me. I don't know. We figured we're some kind of superhuman, so why not? Looks like all the cats in the marina have caught a whiff of it too. Also, by the 80% mark, we should definitely have got the new job lined up, right? I just didn't pay attention what it might be. Right. More windows. Still a lot of cabin to go. Shut all these windows. At least the windows are getting smudge-free thick and fast. Guess that window doesn't want to be cleaned. There you go. Right. I've done a loop of the cabin. But apparently there's still stuff that is a little bit on the dirty side. Okay, the bottom bit is cabin trim. That's precisely what we're after, but we're trying to get every bit clean anyway, so sure. That's a little bit grubby. Also, I'm realising I've not been sitting particularly conducive to my spine up to this point. Okay, I'm going to have to... Oh! Okay. Itty bitty bits around the edges. Now, is it like on top here? Yes, I was going to say we never did this bit. Okay, it is part of the cabin, but we haven't got our ding yet. It's not made the noise yet. Oh, God's sake, come on. I mean, this cabin is pretty damn clean. I don't know what you're complaining about. I mean, I wouldn't want to eat my dinner off it, because, you know, it's going to be a bit salty and a bit fishy. But still. Is it like... They're like tiny little nooks and crannies around the... boys. Also, talking about boys, I saw a tweet saying that, what was it, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's joined the cast. So basically just becoming Supernatural the Reunion at this point. Underneath. Is it underneath the door? Is it above the door? I mean, something went ding. I don't know what, though. It was not the entire cabin. I'm guessing it was, like, the hook, which I thought was already done. It was the hook, yeah. Okay, come on. We've done, like, 2 loops of this thing now. I mean, the bridge trim is a thing. Can I do the topside red bit? Can I please stand up? I need to check whether I've done appropriate bits. That's all trim. Is it these tiny little bits that haven't been dinged yet? That's the cabin. The cabin is done now. Perfect. Okay, it was a little bit on that arm, apparently. Right, so... all that done. Not the trim bit, though. There is a part of this still that is not clean. I guess it actually could be that bit. Yeah, the box is a separate element. Okay, once again, it's being annoying. We're at 99%, but apparently that final 1% is going to be awkward and not show its face when we ask it. It's going to be tucked in between the stairs, isn't it? There we go. Right. Now we go on top. Deal with all this crap. So it should be a lot easier because, you know, we can get right in close with it. I presume it'll be easier, but you know that what they say about assumptions. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. It's definitely had issue with me today being too close to actually get the sprays, like, presumably going where I mean them to go. There we go. Door is done. The wall is almost there, but it's going to be a sucky little bastard again. Going to deny us based on like that single %. There's an element of it somewhere hiding. There you go. I think Yahtzee did a video last few days going on about where the industry might go next, because obviously AAAs have always chased whatever trend is, you know, new and can potentially make them money. He was saying about like the Souls-like thing is more or less done and dusted now. So what might the next thing be? And I think he was postulating cozy games, and he did actually put this in with that kind of blanket term. But yeah, you can just imagine if some AAA developer did this kind of game, you would get the starting like pressure washer and a single nozzle. Everything else would be microtransactions to buy, wouldn't it? Yeah, he was citing like the games with like that kind of like chill, do it at your own pace, satisfactory kind of like mini jobs. So this, Spiritfarer, Stardew Valley, all those kind of ones where it's like small jobs that you can do at your own pace. Hence, they're cozy. You can switch your brain off and just do a mundane task. But, you know, I can't see AAA really doing that, because, you know, they're all about the big bombastic explosions, and we need to have a team of 3,000 working on this project over 16 different studios all across the world, because that's what the shareholders demand. Right. These railings are going to need to go, as is the spotlight. If only we had some ladders, eh? Apparently these rails are almost there. I've got to presume it's the underside, which we can't reach from this angle. What about the spotlight? There we go. We got the spotlight. From somehow balancing on an impossibly thin edge. Technically, we're not even, like, crouching here. We are somehow managing to lie in this spot, right here. Well, I was lying there for a moment. There's some dirt on it somewhere. I'm determined to find it. I will find you. Oh, it's not so much dirt as in that bit right there. There's a little bit of rust. Right, okay. This crate still isn't done. It would be those bits right there then, wouldn't it? Multiplayer revealed to me that the lie is a lie. It's actually a crouch and a lower crouch. Oh, okay. The pictures are lying to us. You've managed to deal with all your phone calls. They're saying it's not. It must be nice to be in demand, though, at least. Right. Right. Ooh. Front light there. There we go. Spotlight cleaned. Okay, so... Mr. Riker, you have the con. I believe the bridge and all that is sorted. Let's do... like, all this accoutrement now. And we've got like 8 minutes to do 15%. And the anchor which we left on the outside, which we haven't done yet. I mean, it's conceivable, but I doubt it. I mean, the obvious thing is, you said they were like the character was a young rogue. Basically, have the Thieves Guild be an old master teaching all the tricks of the trade. I mean, the good one that's like used in a lot of RPGs of like guilds is rivalries. I mean, it feels like it's a bit of a trope, but you know, the rivalry between the Thieves Guild and the Assassin's Guild, or possibly a Merchant's Guild. Like, you could have... The guild is a legitimate entity in the city because they pay some kind of due to the mayor or the governor or whoever's in charge. But it doesn't stop, you know, everyone not liking them. And, you know, you've got to have, like, a specific building. They've got a specific, like, call sign or, like, what they're called. And they have, like, a pin badge or a tattoo. Tattoos are good for roguish elements. Right. That's all of that. The hold. The easy to access parts. Very good. Well, we were going to do that, but we did say like one last thing would possibly be we've left the anchor. The anchor is untouched, so we have to do the anchor, and that's our last thing. So that's all a bit dirty, but yeah, all of this is like relatively straightforward. Run it like a wolf pack, and the more money you bring into the guild, the more power rank you get. Okay, so you're going to have like a possibly like a prestige rank leveling system tied to it. So this is obviously for the rogue. What are the other like classes in the group? Is there anything akin that you could possibly do for the rest of them? Not so much, because if they're a younger player, I'm presuming the other players at the table will be fine with them, like, getting other cool stuff to get them into the game. But it could also be, like, a teaching thing for this younger player. When they see, okay, this person has worked with this group a number of times and they've got this thing. I know I'm working towards it with the guild. that's how it works, and just essentially more examples of how that thing could be, and then those guilds could interact with each other as well. Like some kind of mercenary group or adventurers guild that the fighter is tied to. They require some specialist help, which requires the Thieves Guild to get involved. Or, I mean, the cleric, then the obvious thing is a church. The church loses something and actually employs, rather than the adventurers, they have got a friend at the Thieves Guild. The church actually approaches them, and then the Thieves Guild can, like, ask around. They could be more of an information gathering type thing. Thieves Guild could be used to find like black market information or goods. So like some people won't talk to like legitimate organizations, they might talk to the Thieves Guild, or the Thieves Guild might be able to extract more information out of certain individuals. Druid is a planar traveller, raised the bars. The bard, the cleric and the rogue are just kind of just there. Okay. I mean, if they're a young player, I mean, the immediate thing that jumps to mind is just you have an NPC that is like the old master of the guild, and then you as DM can use them to help teach this young rogue. They could be a mentor figure. The druid raised the bard. Okay, so those two characters are automatically connected. I mean, okay, if it's down to the cleric and the rogue, a similar pairing that springs to mind is Robin Hood and Friar Tuck. Maybe they have beef with the local tax collector. This is why the church and the Thieves Guild kind of get along, because the local government is always taking more than they should. Or I'm trying to think what else. Maybe there's some kind of smuggling ring. The church provides protection for people that are being smuggled, whereas the Thieves Guild actually organizes the smuggling. Right, that dinged. Got the motor at the front here. Also, that is 7 o'clock. Okay, so we're not gonna make it unless we are blisteringly quick with this last 10%. Starter Town is a frontier town, so there's not much to it yet. I mean, my gut with like the idea of guilds and things like that is definitely have some guilds that like working together, but also have rivalry ones. The obvious one would be Thieves Guild and Assassins Guild, but you can also get away with like a Merchants Guild as well. They would obviously have beef. Yeah, well, 91%. I think we're going to have to call it there, folks. Because, you know, I am rather hungry. We have been doing this for 6 hours today. Well, not this specifically. We did some culting as well. But yeah. I guess we'll have to call it there. Let's admire our handiwork a little bit. Well, it looks spick and span from the outside, doesn't it? We just got some dirt on the decking, which, I mean, isn't too bad. And, as I said, there's the chain as well, and the anchor. Though that seems like a lot for 9%, right? Okay, let's have a look. Anchor, 9% done. Chain, 73%. The bow, main deck. Ah, there's one more, like, little clasp thing. Some steps. Winch rope. And port hull trims. Okay. Left-hand side, the hull trims. So which one are these? That one. I guess I can just see that there. Come on. You know you want to ding. This seems fairly easy to get if we can find the right bit that's glowy. Come on. Come on. We need one more victory ding to finish off the day. Come on. Make the sound. Do the thing. Oh, didn't need to walk off completely. There you go. There we go. We got our victory ding. There you go. Right. That's where we'll call it for a bit. Didn't mean to fall all the way back here. I was trying to, like, stand on top of the box and admire it. But, you know, it's a little far away, so yeah, that's where we'll call it for the day. Let's go back to, I guess, menu. There you go.